Ziggity Zig talking his way to bronze game number 73. There's me trying to do. And split kind of work. I was ahead for a second or two. The game is between myself down here in the bottom left Core compound and KndyKrn up there in the top right. It's our Terran opponent. Good lucks all around. Now, before this game really gets going, let's get it off camera here. Just to see what I'm doing. Just gotta say, Season 6 is done, and I am currently sitting at, I think, 30th place, which kind of blows, but it's been going up in inconsistent opponents. I mean, if you look at, yeah, that looks about right for APM and things like this. So here's me just going up against someone, but I seem to be going up against some people with blisteringly hot APMs, and some people are just total scrubs. So you meet up with people who belong in the Bronze League, and then you meet up with people who are like ridiculous gold and things like that. So now we seem to have locked up. That's a good sign. Oh, I hit pause. I thought I'd locked up. Anyway, so yeah, Season 6 is done, at least locked, and then there'll be later on this for the rest of the week up until Tuesday. I think next Tuesday is supposed to be the date when Season 7 starts. But until then, I'll just be trying to get my ranking better, because last season my rank, I think, was 14th, so I want to try to break that. And if I can't break that, maybe push it, get it a higher rank, get a few points in this week, and maybe see if we can break silver. I've decided I might call Season 7 silver or bust, because, at this point, if I can't get into silver, I just don't know when I ever can. Maybe it's the fact that I'm not playing enough, maybe it's something else. So here comes my scout, and the first thing I see is no gas. I see nothing as a wall-off, so I think this is a game where I'm just up against someone who's not all that good. Because I see no barracks, so I start to worry slightly at this point, because if you don't see a barracks, I know it's bronze and everything, but you gotta have a barracks by now. But apparently he doesn't. So I worried a little. I think he manages not... Yep, there we go. So he breaks off pursuit. Once I notice he's broken off pursuit, I'm cool with just sitting here on the tower. Get enough money for my first zealot. Doesn't seem to be all that much going on. Yeah, there goes his first barracks there. Yeah, so at this point I was sort of wondering, proxy barracks? Since he didn't have one at the time, but no, there he goes, finally getting it down. His APM is, yes, it is worse than mine. There. See? Proven it. We found one. So just to be sure, I send this little probe on a quick little attack route just to see what's going on. Doesn't seem to be much there. Warp start. 340. 345, that's not bad. Once I get it. Oh, right, because my gas was late. So I'm not going to get the 345, but the Cyber Core was done then. That's cool. So going with a 3-gate. Not sure if I rounded into a 3-gate robo or not. There's my first unit. And momentarily doing alright on workers. Yeah, I'm ahead. I'm not sure. I need to find out a good timing of how many workers I'm supposed to have at a certain time. I think I managed not to supply block myself this time. I'm kind of excited about that. Meanwhile, got some other stuff coming down. That's awesome. Keeping up the worker supply. Keeping up some army supply. My 3 gates out. I could probably start up with a sentry about now. There it goes. And that means that these two can pump out 2 zealots. Yep, there we go. So 2 zealots in a stock. So I'm doing okay army-wise. Oh yes, doing quite well. And worker supply. Probably something to do with that. I'm up to the 19, low 20s is usually where I sit. Getting a double gas just to keep the sentries going, because when you're playing Terran are usually pretty high pressure. In bronze, I've found at least. Could be totally wrong, but we'll see. Definitely not at my best warp finish. Could probably do one more there, one more chrono, but I seem to not be. Got quite a lot of money right now. When am I going to notice that I should put down either another gateway? Ah, there we go. So there's a robo, and I'm supply blocked. Am I going to do something about that? No. Of course not. Ah, there we go. Yes, I am. One supply block on 34. Ugh. So like it's been suggested to me, I should be throwing down a pylon pretty much every time I kind of expand with a building, because outside of that... Now what excites me about this is if you see down here, I've only got one worker waiting to come in. I consider that to be a good sign. His army supply is starting to catch up to mine, my worker supply. Really, I should be kind of schooling him at the moment, but as I'm not quite there yet. So with my scouting probe, I take the forward tower, and then I just send out a zealot to take the bottom tower. This is what I choose to do. Keep expanding with pylons, get an observer set to rally right here at his expo to find out what's going on there. Yeah, he's definitely not walling in, is he? That's interesting. It's like the time I played Dad. Ah, good old Dad. Why don't I have more opponents like that? I mean, why isn't that the Bronze League? I don't get it. Of course, I have been up against a few silvers now and then. And I've been sometimes beating silvers, sometimes not. So I still say that's where I'd rather be. Keeping the pylon production up. Let's try to keep it to just one. Oh, infantry weapons. Fair enough. Seem to be on a bit of a downside. Alright, so I'm trying to put all my money into either expanding to the natural, or supply, or army. I'm not doing any fancy tech. I'm just doing... There's my second observer that's going to go with my army. So this guy... So right now, this is what I know. I know that he didn't have a barracks at that time. So here I come up to see what's going on here, and I notice... another barracks. It's fair enough. Barracks there, barracks in a reactor. So I don't see any detection, so I just sort of keep myself right there. And since I don't really see anything at the door, and no expo, what I do is I use my forward pylon on this tower. Oh, I forgot to take my zealot. Oh well. And I get him to make one of these. To make a pylon up there. Don't use my robo for anything, and I just move forward, put on a little bit of pressure. He seems to be a bit supply blocked. Now with the observer up here, I can see up the ramp, so I don't, and then I just attack move. And the fun thing about the attack move is that I can concentrate all my units, and I managed to take out that barracks without being choked on the ramp. That was lucky. That could have gone a lot worse. So then I move up the ramp so as not to get choked again. Move in, move up. Stomp face. Currently up to 60. That's my current. 60 APM. Going for an average of 23. Bring my little probie with me. Once you keep shift clicking the attack move, then that means your probe is set to do what he's supposed to do as you go. I see him moving away the command center, so I decided to focus down on that. A little bit late, but I still did it. And at the same time, what I did was I double-clicked on my zealots, and I tried to get them to attack the SCVs. So once that went down, he then tried to escape the SCVs, which was odd. Had a pylon in his base at that point. Saw him doing that, so I decided to move over, and look at that, force field to ramp. So I block him off, lock him in, and then just begin the massacre. 2, 3, 2 kills on that one. I'll rebuild the base. At least he GG's out of it, that's nice. So, a quick win! Seriously, an 11-minute 38 win. I think that's the shortest win I've ever had. But then again, I was up against someone who didn't really know what they were doing. You know? There's the unit stat. He had nothing left. He had this. He had a gas before he GG'd out. Average APM was 12. 12. Look at that money. He wasn't spending. So KndyKrn, if you ever see this, it's a good game. Boosted my confidence. Just need to spend your money. And probably wall off. I mean, a tank up at the top, that would have stopped me in my tracks. Probably wouldn't have stopped my observer, but it would have done something. So, ending on a high note today, which I'm excited about, except for the fact that I definitely did not get out of bronze in Season 6. We'll see about the placement game for Season 7. That'll be coming up later. The rest of the week I'll just be playing some games and posting some more Season 6 until next week, when we'll hopefully be into Season 7 games. By next Wednesday, I hope to have the placement game in, depending on how epically long and ridiculous it is. I've rambled on long enough. Leave a comment, send me an email, ziggyzig@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @ZiggyStarcraft. Stay tuned.